So welcome to Exodus 19, a nation married to Yah, with your host Richard Massey. I pray that you guys are having a blessed Sabbath. And I pray also that whatever you and your family are going through, that Yah gives you the strength to go through it. And before we get started, because today we're going to be reading from 1 Kings 13. 1 Kings 13. But we're going to start something new. And before we get started each time, we're going to read two chapters. We're going to read 2 Chronicles 7:14 and Matthew 6:33. So 2 Chronicles 7:14, if my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sin, and I will heal their land. And Matthew 6:33, but seek ye first the reign of Elohim and his righteousness, and all these matters shall be added unto you. And I'm not going to elaborate on them now, but we're going to be reading these every time I start. But let these two scriptures speak to you. They have a lot to say. And I think it ties right in to what I'm trying to do every week. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven so that I can get righteousness or be considered righteous. In 2 Chronicles 7:14. Do those particular things to get Yah to heal my land and to heal everybody's land. So 1 Kings 13, start at verse 1, of course. We read the whole chapter here, even the slow parts. 1 Kings 13:1. And see, a man of Elohim went from Yehudah to Bethel by the word of Yahweh, while Jeroboam was standing by the altar to burn incense. Because remember, when Jeroboam went from the north and started back in the southern kingdom, he made two altars, one in Bethel and one in Dan. So verse 1 is letting us know that he's standing by the altar in Bethel, which also means the house of God. So he's standing next to the altar and he's burning incense on the altar, and he's being approached by this unknown prophet that Elohim sent to him. This man is not famous in any way, shape, or fashion. He's simply a man that Yah is using at this time with no title, but he is considered by the Bible to be a prophet, right? So he says 1, and see, a man of Elohim went from Yehudah to Bethel by the word of Yahweh, while Jeroboam was standing by the altar to burn incense. 2, and he cried out against the altar by the word of Yahweh and said, O altar, thus said Yahweh, see, a man is to be born to the house of David, and Yahushua is his name, and on you he shall offer the priest of the high priest. He shall offer the priests of the high places who burn incense on you, and men's bones be burned on you. 3, and he gave a sign the same day, saying, this is the sign which Yahweh has spoken. See, the altar is split apart, and the ashes on it is poured out. 4, and it came to be when sovereign Jeroboam, or King Jeroboam, heard the saying of the man of Elohim who cried out against the altar at Bethel, that Jeroboam stretched out his hand from the altar, saying, seize him. Then his hand, which he stretched out towards him, dried up, so that he was unable to bring it back to him. Because he didn't like what the man Elohim was saying and doing. So he went to go reach out to get him, and I guess his arm got locked up. And in 5 it says, and the altar was split apart, and the ashes poured out from the altar, according to the sign which the man of Elohim had given by the word of Yahweh. Right? In my notes, I have this unmentioned prophet wanted no reward. When Yah tells you to do something, don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Right? Like, I don't mean to be rude, but you're going to have to show me and explain to me where you get particular ideologies and philosophies that you're preaching and you're talking about. I see on social media a lot of pastors are going after each other and attacking each other and they're talking about what's right and what's wrong, and everybody seems to have their own ideology of what the word is saying. Well, I'm having mine straight from the word itself. So I'm not trying to be a problem child, but I'm not trying to follow your okie doke. I followed it for 55 years. And that's not a shot. That's just the truth. I want to stay as close to Elohim as I can, to be a Tzaddik, to be a governor of righteousness as close as I can, so that he will heal my land of my family and whoever I asked him to heal the land of. For whoever has an ear to hear, to let them hear what Elohim is saying to the church or to the assembly. 6, and the sovereign answered and said to the man of Elohim, please appease the face of Yahweh your Elohim and pray for me, that my hand might be restored to me. And the man of Elohim appeased the face of Yahweh, and the sovereign's hand was restored to him and became as it was before. This sounds like Moses and Pharaoh, like a particular situation like that, to where Pharaoh asked Moses to cry out or to pray to Yahweh. He does it and restores the situation back to normal. 7, the sovereign then said to the man of Elohim, come home with me and refresh yourself, and I give you a gift. 8, but the man of Elohim said to the sovereign, or to the king, if you were to give me half your house, I do not go in with you, nor do I eat bread or drink water in this place. And I love that. And I'm not taking a shot, but it's not too many men of God today that would have not have gone home with him and taken a gift. Because what does the Bible say? A gift blinds the eyes of justice. Because if that man of Elohim goes home with him and takes a gift, now he softens the blow that Elohim is trying to get to this king. So Elohim told him at the beginning, don't go home with him, and don't eat and don't drink with him. So 7, the sovereign then said to the man of Elohim, come home with me and refresh yourself, and I give you a gift. 8, but the man of Elohim said to the sovereign, if you were to give me half your house, I do not go in with you, nor do I eat bread or drink water in this place. 9, for so he commanded me by the word of Yahweh, saying, do not eat bread, nor drink water, nor return by the same way you came. So how he got to Bethel, he's not even supposed to go back home the same way. This is already laid out and talked to him by Yahweh, right? 10, so he went another way and did not return by the way he came to Bethel. 11, and a certain old prophet. So the Bible says that this man is an old prophet. But don't forget, in Bethel, Jeroboam made common people prophets. He made everyday, unqualified people prophets because he just duplicated kind of sort of what he did in Bethel that was done in Jerusalem. So this man could have actually been a prophet, but maybe he was just titled that without any knowledge or training or anything. He obviously wasn't appointed by Yahweh to be a prophet. So 11 says, and a certain old prophet was dwelling in Bethel, and his sons came and told him all the works that the man of Elohim had done that day in Bethel, the words which he had spoken to the king or to the sovereign. 12. And the father said to them, which way did he go? And the sons had seen which way the man of Elohim went, who came from Yehuda. 13. And he said to his son, saddle the donkey for me. And he saddled the donkey for him, and he rode on it. 14. And went after the man of Elohim and found him sitting under a terebinth tree. And he said to him, are you the man of Elohim who came from Yehuda? And he said, I am. 15. And he said to him, come home with me and eat bread. Listen to this. When Yahweh 5 years ago started turning me away from Christianity and started giving me a new understanding in the word of Yah, I will have a conversation with you. And hopefully my conversation is showing you that you might be misinterpreting. But I will never let you change my mind and go back to Christianity ever again. And that's not being rude. That's just fact. I don't think that there's a man or woman alive that will ever convince me to go back to being what I know as a Christian, ever. I don't even think I have a title. I'm a Bible reader, and I'm a person that sticks close to what the word of Elohim says. I believe in covenant commandment, and I believe that there's two books, and one is the commandment and the other one is the law. And you might say, well, and I don't believe that. It just goes crazy. And I don't mean to get off topic, but this verse right here is really, really amazing. But you know what I also believe too? I believe that this old prophet had really good intentions. And you can see at the end of the chapter why I think so, right? It says in 14, and went after the man of Elohim and found him sitting under the tree and said to him, are you the man of Elohim who came from Yehuda? And he said, I am. And he said to him as well, like the king did, come and eat with me and eat bread. Come with me and eat bread. Right? 16, and he said, I am not able to return with you or go in with you, nor am I able to eat bread or drink water with you in this place, because Yahweh told him not to. 17, for word came to me by the word of Yahweh, do not eat bread or drink water there, nor return by going the same way you came. He's explaining to him the same thing. But look at 18. And this is how I will take it if I ever had a conversation with somebody that was trying to tell me, especially if they're in Christianity or any other religion. This is how I take it. This is how I feel about the conversation, just like in 18. And he said to him, I too am a prophet like you, and a messenger spoke to me by the word of Yahweh, saying, bring him back with you to your house and let him eat bread and drink water. But he lied to him. So you said that I'm a prophet like you, and you are titled a prophet. You might have been given the title by Jeroboam. You're a false prophet, preaching false doctrine, extending the tradition of men, causing deception. He said, and the messenger spoke to me by the word of Yahweh, you liar. Because when that prophet got a word from Yahweh saying, don't go back and eat and drink and don't go back the same way, you had a personal experience to where you knew that. Like when Yahweh was telling me to honor the Sabbath, and when he's telling me to honor the feast days, and when he's telling me to honor the dietary law and to follow it, You cannot come to me and say I'm a prophet and he told me, a messenger came to me and told me that you don't have to honor the Sabbath. You don't have to follow the feast days. You don't have to honor the dietary law. You will never, you're wasting your time. Let's just put it that way. You are wasting your time. I don't care how articulate you are, and I don't care how anointed you think you are. I don't care if I'm stumbling over my words and you are just spitting it out like you are just like the Spirit is moving in you. I know what the word says. You won't never get me again like I was gotten before. And this is personal to me. I know I sound a little angry, and I am. He said in 18, and he said to him, I too am a prophet like you, and a messenger spoke to me by the word of Yahweh, saying, bring him back with you to your house, and let him eat bread and drink water. And at the end of the scripture, it says, but he lied to him. Because if they didn't put that in there, we wouldn't know that he lied to him. 19, so he turned back and went with him and ate bread in his house and drank water. Whatever Yah is telling you to do, don't let nobody tell you different. Because as you see, Yah is not coming down and telling him, I didn't say that. He's letting him go. Because I already told you. Just like I already told Abraham a particular situation. And he let it unfold. I told so many people a certain thing, and somebody else was able to go right behind me and tell them, this is what Yah really meant. And the person who received the message, already knowing that Yah told them something, it affected them and their family. 20, and it came to be as they sat at the table that the word of Yahweh came to the prophet who had brought him back. The word of Elohim came to the prophet that deceived the certain prophet. So Yah allows the old prophet to bring the certain prophet back into his house, and then Yahweh spoke through the old prophet. And it came to be as they sat at the table that the word of Elohim, or Yahweh, came to the prophet who had brought him back. 21, and now he's going to prophesy to the certain prophet. He says, and he cried out to the man of Elohim who came from Yehuda, saying, thus says Yahweh, because you have rebelled against the mouth of Yahweh and have not guarded the commandment which Yahweh, your Elohim, commanded you. 22, and turned back and ate bread and drank water in the place of which he said to you, do not eat bread or drink water. Your body shall not enter the burying place of your fathers. So that man went out and got that prophet that was obeying Yah at the time under the tree, told him a lie. But what is Elohim saying in short form? He's saying to the certain prophet who he sent, I told you what to do and what not to do. And you let somebody else tell you that I said to reverse what I told my command to you. And you got up and you went back when you know I told you. You know I gave you direction. And you let somebody come and tell you that I changed it. And that's what I'm saying. I know what Elohim, with the word of God, with Yahshua HaMashiach, Shiach is saying to me. You won't bring me back to your land to eat bread and to drink water ever again. Ever again. I'm not going to let a false prophet preach to me false doctrine, bringing on the traditions of men, causing deception, even if your family won't let it happen. I will not participate in your wrongdoing. Take that how you want. I won't do it. I don't care how much knowledge you have. I don't care how much schooling you've taken. This old prophet swindled this man Elohim and brought him back and told him a lie. But it's not even the old prophet's fault, because it's the man of Elohim, that prophet. He had a personal experience. He heard from Yahweh himself tell him and give him instruction, and he let another man, because he said he was a prophet, trump what Elohim said. So when Elohim says to me, honor the Sabbath, he says to me, honor the feast days, he says to me, obey the dietary law, you won't never be able to tell me different. You're wasting your time. He says, 22, and turn back and ate bread and drank water in the place which he said to you, do not eat bread or drink water. Your body shall not enter the burying place of your fathers. Wow. 23, and it came to be after he had eaten bread and after he had drunk, that he saddled the donkey for him, for the prophet whom he had brought back. 24, and he went, and a lion met him on the way and killed him. And his body was thrown on the way, and the donkey was standing by it, and the lion was standing by the body. 25, and see, men were passing by and saw the body thrown on the way, while the lion was standing by the body, and they went and reported it in the city where the old prophet dwelt. 26, and the prophet who had brought him back from the way heard it and said, it is the man of Elohim who rebelled against the mouth of Yahweh. Are you kidding me? So you're saying that he was rebellious. You're not saying it's the man of Elohim that I lied to. That's not what you're going to say, because you're not going to take the responsibility for my life. You're going to blame it all on me. He says, and the prophet who had brought him back from the way heard it and said, it is the man of Elohim who rebelled against the mouth of Yahweh, and Yahweh gave him to the lion, and it tore him apart and killed him according to the word of Yahweh, which he spoke to him. That prophet saying Yahweh told him that this was going to happen. 27, and he spoke to his son saying, saddle the donkey for me, and they saddled it. 28, so he went and found his body thrown on the way, and the donkey and the lion standing by the body, and the lion had not eaten the body or mauled the donkey. And the prophet lifted up the body of the man of Elohim and placed it on the donkey and brought it back. And the old prophet came to the city to mourn and to bury him. So this prophet has to be buried in Shemaron or Samaria, and not in Yehuda with his fathers, because they're not going to travel, and plus they're not even allowed to go into Yehuda or Jeroboam or Jerusalem. So they're going to bury him in the northern kingdom when he belongs to the southern kingdom. And the old prophet came to the city to mourn and to bury him. 30, and placed his body in his own tomb, and then lamented over him, saying, oh, my brother, why are you crying? You set me up. And that's why I said maybe he really had good intentions, because when you are setting somebody up, you usually don't have no feelings, or you're not usually going to cry, because you set them up. You set them up because you didn't like them, right? But here, they're saying that, he cried over him. He sounded like he repented, or, he was upset. He thought that what he was telling him to do, he thought that what he was telling him to do, he thought that what he was telling him to do was a good thing. 31, and it came to be, after he had buried him, that he spoke to his son, saying, when I am dead, then you shall bury me in the tomb where the man of Elohim is buried. Lay my bones beside his bones. It sounds like he really cares about this dude, and he finds him special, to where he's telling his sons to bury him next to the man of Elohim. That's why I keep thinking that a part of me thinks that the man was being deceitful, but a part of me believes that the man really believed what he believed. So much to where when I die, lay me beside him. And that's what I'm saying. I know we all believe what we believe. We all believe that what we are doing for the most part is right. And even for the people who don't believe that what they're doing is right, they have a disclaimer that Elohim is not done with them yet, and that he's still teaching, and he's still showing them, and his grace is still giving them a chance every time they wake up. But it will always be a mystery to me how we can read the same chapter and verse and get different interpretations out of it. 32, for the word which he cried out by the word of Yahweh against the altar at Bethel and against all the house of the high places which are in the cities of Shamariah or Samaria shall certainly come to be. And then it goes on to a different topic. And after this event, Jeroboam did not turn from his evil ways, but he again made priests from all sorts of people for the high places. See, they weren't even under the Aaron lineage, but he just made priests from all sorts of people for the high places. Whoever wished, he ordained to become one of the priests of the high place. So all you had to do is have a desire to become a priest. You can be any type of person, have any type of background, and Jeroboam made you a priest. But what happened the 34th? And this matter was the sin of the house of Jeroboam, even to cut it off and destroy it from the face of the earth. Wow. So this podcast, this episode is just a reminder that this podcast is also on Spotify and Instagram. I'm live on YouTube as well, so don't forget to like my page and to share my page where it applies, and don't forget to hit the notification button. And let's give a round of applause to Elohim and Yahshua, because they're worthy to be praised from the rising of the sun to the going down of the same. And don't forget to subscribe as well. And again, a special shout out to my man Richard Turner for my background music. And next week, we will be reading from 1 Kings 14. 1 Kings 14. So I'll be back on Sunday morning with another podcast. I'm starting to do 2 a weekend. So that's when I'll do 1 Kings 14 tomorrow. Yep, 1 Kings 14, I'll do that tomorrow. So shalom, have a good day.